Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today you join me out on a weekday on the south coast about 25 minutes from my house. We've had that bad weather which has blown over. As you seen last week, I just stayed in and made the ling rig few, but this time I'm out in the pursuit of sole and ray. I haven't had a good ray session this year, so I've come down to one of my favourite ray and sole marks and we're going to give it a go. Also, this isn't a mark, if you've seen my previous videos where I fished with Steve Perry and we fished it for sole, and I had the short little snuds ready to fish for him, and Steve said no, it wouldn't work, and he absolutely hammered me. So what I've done is now I've got exactly the same bait as me and Steve used, but I've got long snuds on my left hand rod, which I'm going to get out there and see if they do definitely work here. And on the right hand rod, which I'll go through, I'm going to be targeted in the ray evening. Today I'm joined with Dale again, Mark, and later on Danny Panther's going to call down so we can have a few of us here and see if we can get into some fish few. But as normal, what I normally do is I'll run you through the rods and reels I'm using, line, reels, and then we can go through the rigs I'm using, jump in the beach buddy. I'll take you through the baiting up, the rigs I'm using, the tactics, how I'm going to fish this mark for the ray, how I'm going to fish it for sole, and cross fingers, we can get into some for you. But it's just nice to get out, to tell you the truth, because the weather, as most people know, has been horrendous. That's why last weekend I just stayed in and I make rigs for my great friend Lesvik. And then Saturday I fly out to the European Championships in Denmark. So that's exciting. All my kit is prepped for that. We're flying out Saturday for a week, and I'll take you with me like I did last year. And hopefully last year I had the silver medal, and I just got nipped by my great friend from Wales. So for the first place, hopefully I can do the similar sort of fishing out there. And cross fingers, I can do well out there again, and the team can do well. But it's just a fantastic event, the European Shore Championships. But that's me waffled on now. I'll quickly run you through the rods and reels, then we'll jump into the beach buddy, and we can talk about the tactics for this evening. Right, I'll quickly run you through the rods and reels I'm using tonight. I've got a pair of my competition Nagers, probably my favourite rods of all time. These are absolutely amazing. They're coupled up with casting specials, 20-pound blaze. I've got 80 tapered shock leader on there. And on the left-hand rod, I'm fishing for sole. So I've got the up and over pulley rig, 3-foot snuds, and they're loaded with one with black lug, fresh black lug, which I had from Graham today, from Showcast. And I've got ragworm on it, which I had from Graham on the other hook. On the right-hand rod then, I've got double sand eel and squid, locally caught squid. Because the squid are back in at the moment. I've been fishing the port and I've been having 30 or 40 a night in there. So I'm stacking back up on the squid, so I got those out. Mark's just fishing down to me there. He's got his continental rod and he's got an up and over pulley rig with a whole squid, and he's fishing that in the gutter because he wants to catch an undulate ray. So that's the equipment I'm using now. What I'll do is the normal, I'll turn you around, we'll jump into beach buddy, I'll go through the rigs, baiting up tactics, and then we'll have a quick chat about the tactics which I'm going to do this evening. Well, that's now both our rods. Hang on, Mark, we'll move up here for a minute. Well, that's both our rods in the water. When I was doing the intro to you, Mark shouted over, "Oh, my line's slack on the beach." So I quickly ran over. I tried to put the camera on, but Mark lifted up into it, struck into it. Well, he didn't strike into it, did he? Just started winding, but he should have struck into it. But definitely a ray, so that's a good sign, isn't it? But yeah, schoolboy error, never mind. So what I'll do is quickly now, like we spoke about, I'll run you through the bait we've got, what rigs I'm going to got. As you know, I've got the up and over pulley now with 3-foot snuds on my left-hand rod, and I've got an up and over pulley playing on that one with a double sand eel with a strip of squid down there. Mark's got a whole squid now with a bit of bluey on it. But he did have that fish on locally caught squid, which me and Mark were talking about, and I was actually showing him the difference between locally caught squid and the actual short pot squid. The oil in that it gives off is brilliant. So I've got an array of bait tonight. I went over to Graham's after speaking to him. We got lovely ragworm, we got fresh blacks, we got bluey, we got sand eel, and obviously our locally caught squid, which we'll put to the test tonight. Rigs, I'll bait them up in a minute, just quickly run you through them. I've got a 6-foot up and over pulley on now, which is out there. So what I've got here then, I've got a 4-foot up and over pulley, which is just a normal pulley rig. I've got a showcast sled on there. Snuds and main body are £70, and I've got a 3/0 hook and a 3/0 circle hook. I don't go massive with my ray in that here, and that's good. And then obviously my snud lengths are different lengths to see which one will pick it up. And on my other one, I've got a 2-hook rig now, blasted out as far as I can, and then I've got a 3-hook rig here. I'm going to see if the long snuds work, and I've just got a 2 up, 1 down, clip down with a bit of Lumi on it, because I find Lumi works in there. But as you know, as I do it, my lead's always on a slider there. Comes down to the line to kick it off, and they're just size 4 hooks there. The bottom hook is 3 foot, and the top ones are 18-inch snuds, £15 amnesia, and it's got a little glow on it, because I find glow works well for the sole. What I'll do is now I'll bait each one of those rigs up when we're waiting for a bite. And then hopefully the tide's just starting to make now, so you're on perfect time. Danny just phoned, he said he's about 20 minutes away. But the tide is just flooding in. High waters at 12:30, so we're going to fish up till 12:30 because both of us have got work in the morning. And hopefully we can get into some sole and a ray this evening, and we can see if Steve's long snuds work. And I'll see, hopefully blow lug is better, you know, for him, but I could only get fresh blacks, but hopefully the sole will be turned on to them tonight. But what I'll do is now, I quickly bait up the rigs for you, starting off with the squid and sandeel, I think, on one, and then we'll go on to the worm baits on the other. Right, baiting up, I've got on my pulley rig. What I've gone for here, as you can see, is a locally caught squid. Like I spoke about, if you look back at my previous videos, locally caught squid, you can see it gives off a right oily texture compared to shop-bought squid. And in the past, it's outfished everything. I've been on the beach with my friends and I'm using this, and they're using shop-bought, and I've been into the fish and they haven't. Easy to bait up here, they are. The only thing is with these, they leave a right mess on your hands, they do. My wife kicks right off. Even after you wash it, the oil is horrible. But it's great to see they're back in already. And I can get because trying to keep them throughout the year is hard because they are such a good bait. And this time of year, they're nice bait size like that. I've had a couple of, this is quite large for now. Because where I go, you know, as most people know, December, they get massive. A little bit too big for bait, but at the moment, you know, that's quite large for now. But they get a bit, obviously smaller than that. And so all I've done is I've just whipped it on with bait elastic onto my baiting needle, like so, like everyone knows. That bit round as well. As you can see, the oil just drips of them. They give a fantastic scent off. And I just got an up and over pulley rig here, standard. I do leave a little tag there, like most people do, so it just holds it on, even though I've got a circle hook. Hook it through the head like so, push down the point, and then whip it on. Yeah, I hope Mac gets into one now. He definitely had his ray on earlier on, and obviously, as you know, he's only been fishing for a couple of months now. I haven't been taking him out, but he's got the bug he has. But you can see it, he's pulled down, right down, slacklined him, and he just picked it up and just started winding in, love him. But you should have waited and, you know, till he took up the slack, and then strike into it. As you can see then, just whipped it on lovely. Tell you the truth, that's quite a large bait for you. Done. Don't be shy on the bait, lads, again, night and that. Bring your circle hook down. And like so, and as you can see, and look at my hands, I hope it comes out. They're absolutely dripping with gunk, you know, and that's caught me countless. And you let ray in that is tremendous, but that scent that gives off is second to none. What I'll do is now I'll get quickly cleaned up, because this stuff is all over me, give my hands a quick wash, and then I'll prep the next rig now, but that's going to be worm bait, and that's going to be targeting my sole. These are my first ones out now, and I've got a bite on both of them. But like I spoke about before, I'm fishing at such distance. Some of the bites sometimes are very subtle, but the left arm is definitely biting. But this is the one with the up and over pulley rig for the sole. But there's definitely a bite on him. Mark's up by his rod at the moment. He's got a bite on his. And then there was a bite on my right hand rod. As you can see, look, me light it up. There's definitely something on the left side rod, biting there. And the right one had a nice little pull down. Yeah, there's definitely something on the left one. We'll get it in and have a look now. I'm hoping it's going to be a sole. There was definitely a fish on there. Well, that's good, mine, for our first cast out, indication that there's fish here. And we've still got 3 hours before top waters was flooding nicely. It was, hopefully it's going to be a sole, no target species. There's definitely a bite on here. I may have to go out if it is a fish on here, because as you can see the beach sells off down to 2 drop-offs. It's quite a strange beach. It says when you're winding in you can feel all the lumps and gullies, because you've got a gully, I say about 80 and 90 yards out, and then you've got a big sandbank, and then in about 20 to 30 yards out it drops quite deep and you can feel it dropping over it. I have to go out now. The conditions are absolutely perfect. I'm just hoping that the fish are going to be here. I may have to run down now. That's not what we wanted. Oh well, that's not what we wanted. A little tiny bootless. Well, that's the first cast out there. And as you can see, the up and over pulley rig, and it's got black leg there, tipped with a bit of ragworm. Little tiny bootless. And hopefully that's not, because Mac's got quite a large bait on and he's having chuddy bites. I hope it's not going to be a strap fest, to tell you the truth. But yeah, first cast, little bootless. I hope these are not going to plague us and push off now when the tide gets moving. So I'm going to get this little fella back now. I got the rig hanging up on there. I'll get that clipped on, the one you see me baiting up, the 3 hook one. I'll get it out there and hopefully I can get into a sole and these leave us alone. Oh, I was just you see me casting that little bootless. I went up there and I cast out. Next minute I was walking back with my rod. Mac was like, I got something. Yeah, I hope these are not going to be a pain. That's probably 4 times, that's still a small bootless, but probably about 4 times bigger than the one I had.
Yeah, at least it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as you can see, Mac had a whole locally caught squid there, about 40 yards out fishing in the gutter. But I think I'm praying, I got a fish on my left hand rod, but I'm hoping it's not going to be a bootless. But happy with that?
Yeah, happy.
Is that your first conger?
I think so, aye.
Yeah, it's Mac's first conger. Well done. But we're going to get him sorted now and get back, but I'm hoping we're not going to have the curse of the conger and loads of them tonight.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah, but we've had a bite. We've had bite every cast so far, but I'm hoping it's not going to be these little fellas.
Yeah, man.
But I'll let Mark get that back now and we'll carry on fishing. And I'm going to give it was my right one, but then obviously my sole one's out there, and I'm going to give the left one a go on and pray in. And it's not going to be a strap conger. Because that can be an issue here sometimes. And on the south coast lately, strap congers have been an absolute nightmare. Yeah, the strap congers are definitely on the south coast. And in quite numbers of small ones as well. Because I know my friend was fishing up Hythe marshes for flounder and that. And you know, when you're fishing in 5 foot of water, and he was catching straps. And that's pretty much up the river. So that's quite strange, you know. Hopefully I've missed this, to tell you the truth. There's definitely a fish on there. We'll find out now if it comes back in the ball. No telltale signs of a conger. We've had a bite now every cast. It's not too bad, but hopefully we can get onto the target we're looking for. A ray and a sole. He says no weed tonight. Oh God, and Bernard. Oh, definitely, look. Let me turn my head torch off. As you can see, that is definitely been strapped. All twisted up to hell. Oh no. Never mind, that's the telltale signs as I spoke about before. All twisted and wrapped up where he's spinning it. What I'll do is I'm going to get that whole squid on. I'll get that out there and hopefully they can't get that in their mouth. But yeah, probably have to snip those off and retie them. Never mind. Oh, never mind. Hopefully the congers will leave us alone. But sometimes, you know, when I've been down there before in the past, just battling through the dogfish, and then I have had some good rays out of it. So it might be the same tonight now, just battle through the straps and hopefully pick up a sole and a ray. But the only issue is when the sole rigs, when the strap gets on there, 9 out of 10 times, it just whips it all up and you just go through rigs like hell. But I'm going to keep on going now. I'll get that whole squid, which you see me baiting up, get that out there, and I'll get it, snip those hooks off and retie them back on, and hopefully then I can get into something other than a conger. Right, the next one I'm going to do out now is I'm going to do a double sand eel on a strip of squid. So I'll show you how I do it. There's loads of different ways in there. So I like to use a baiting needle, as you've seen most of the time. I'll get my sand eel. I just slip it on like so. So it's like that. This helps me, keeps it nice and straight. And my other one then, I put it alongside it, but opposite way around. So you've got the as you can see, the end there. Place it, so this makes it more symmetrical and aerodynamic. Get my bait cotton. Tell you something, I just tell you Mark now. It's definitely coming to the winter's definitely coming. It's freezing. Mark's got his jacket on. I'll be putting my jacket on in a minute. Temperature's proper dropped. And then I just simply whip it on like so. Just up and down. Not too much at the moment. And as you can see, you've got a lovely shape. And what I've done is then, a locally caught squid, you can see the thickness of that. And then I just offer that up to the side. Like so. And then just whip it on. Tell you what's the great news, and I forgot to say, and I was talking to Mac about it and the other boys. Obviously, I went to 3,000 subscribers, which is mental, and it just went after that then. It's just been steadily going up. I think I'm on 3,600 now. So I was thinking then, to one of my subscribers, what can I do, you know, to pay back? Because I never ask anyone to subscribe or like or whatever. You know, it's nice that everyone does it, but I never nag anyone to do it. But I was thinking what I can do to give it back. So I spoke to the wife and she said, obviously, as you know, to help Showcast out in Graham, I sell all my rigs and that. And so what I thought I could do is give something back. And the wife said I can go on to all my subscribers and see everyone and do like everyone's name, like in sort of a hat. But I don't know how to do it because I told the wife about it. And then we can put the name in the hat, and then the first prize out, we can have one of my hoodies, because I don't sell them, I don't merchandise. I just have them just to show the channel. The first 3 names out will have a selection of my rigs. The next one will have a hoodie, and the one after that will probably have a beanie and a baseball hat. And it's just giving back to the support which you're giving me. I think that would be nice. So I'll try and work that out in the upcoming weeks. And what I'll do is then, when I come back from the European Championships, I'll try and film it. And I'll ask my daughters or my wife and how we can do it. And I'll put everyone's name in some sort of a machine or something. And we can see what we can done then. And then I'll private message you and I can get the hoodies or whatever you want up to you. I think that's just paying back for what everyone and the support and I've got for the channel now, because it's going from strength to strength, which is quite good. I get a lot of good feedback about the rigs and baiting up and all that. I think it's awkward sometimes fishing marks and stuff. You know, I don't like fishing the same marks all the time, and I don't think it's right for the channel to be fishing the same mark all the time, so I try and vary the channel to show you different styles of fishing. Looking forward to fishing in Denmark. Oh, that'll be a good style. That's distance casting for flounder, so that's going to be interesting. So as you can see there, that's perfectly symmetrical aerodynamic, and I've got a double sand eel with a strip of locally caught squid in the house. The hook is nice and proud, and because I left that tag end, if you wanted to use a single hook, that's not going nowhere. And I'm not too conscious about the bait lastic in darkness, but as you can see, then just pull that out, and you've got a lovely presented squid and sand eel bait, and you can slide down your circle hook. You don't even have to twist it around the line, you can just dig it in because it's held in there with that tag. Can't see you with the light in it. As you can see then, you've got the circle hook perfectly there and the bait there, and that dripping under that locally caught squid. But that's how I bait up sand eel, double sand eel and squid. Hopefully it doesn't catch me a scrap conger.
Seems to be the theme tonight.
So seems to be the theme tonight, and hopefully you can get into a ray or something different, and then the other one get into a sole. But we've had 4 casts now, or you've had 2 conger, and I brought that one back in all congered up. Hopefully they move off and we can get into a fish. Well, it's 10:30 now. We're going to give, like we said, we're going to give it till 12. We've got the best time coming forward on this mark, and hopefully we can get into some fish with you. And I'll bring you back as and when, and if I'm doing different tactics or if I bait something up different, I'll bring you back to show you how I bait up with it. Well, I got an inquiry. I hope I can light it up on my left hand rod, and as you can see, it's broken out and it's gone down there. So I'm hoping, hopefully you can get a bite on camera now. But we are getting bites every cast. I know they've been straps and that, but hopefully we can battle through them and get our target species. If you can see, I've got a black glove on my left hand. Don't think I'm Michael Jackson or anything, but since I've had that operation on my neck, my hand doesn't work in the cold, so I've got to wear a heated glove on it, or it just doesn't work. Yeah, it's definitely a fish on here. That was a nice little bite, that was. Hopefully it's not another strap. There's a fish on here. I'm praying it's not a strap, but it's a nice big sole. That broke me out, that did. But I've had a whole squid on the right hand side, and that hasn't gone, that hasn't. So hopefully this is not a strap. I may have to go down to the next level to get it out. It's keeping us busy. We're having bites and that we are, but I think you said a lot of them are those little bootless laces. We have to go down now. That's the only thing here, it's got the double level, and I don't really like dragging fish up the shingle. It's better to go down and get them. Also with blunt and G hooks, banging it up and down the pebbles. Oh no, that's not what we wanted, unfortunately. Ugh. Oh, nightmare. That's not what we wanted. Another little bootless. I was hoping I was going to be a sole because it was a better bite and it broke me out. But nightmare. Well, I'll get him little out. I know we're having a lot of fish, but it's these. You know, we're having bites of cast, but it's not what we wanted. I know it's a fish, but I'll get this little fella back and we'll keep on going. Hey, I hope you can see it again. I just put that rod back out after chucking that bootless back in, and my sole rig has gone again. There's a bite on my right hand one as well, but I know it's hard to say. I know they fish and that, but I think it is inundated with conger. This is madness, man. We're trying to do a nice video and content view, and I know I'm catching a fish a cast, but they're all straps. Nightmare. Sometimes you come here and it's a phenomenal mark, don't get me wrong, I love you, I've had on my PB and D spotties here. And then you come here sometimes, like last time when you see my video, there's a dogfish every cast. But there's no dogfish at the moment, but the straps are definitely making up for the dogfish. And it's hard then to get onto the sole because the sole are quite timid. You know, and these straps will just push them off. I may have to go down onto the next level again now. You just see me winding that in then. I was hoping it was going to be a sole because it was a totally different bite from a strap. But unfortunately, a little starry smoothhound. Another species, at least it's not a strap conger. But I got this little fella back in now, but it's a fish to chuck at the moment. But obviously it's not our target species. It's nice to catch little ones like this, but Mark's laughing behind the camera, but hopefully get something different and a bit bigger. But that was on the 2 up, 1 down. A little bit of lumi. That was shorter snuds actually. That was 16-inch snuds and a bit of ragworm. Look, just straight ragworm that is, a little smoothhound. They do love that here. But I get this little fella back in now. Get my next rig clipped up and get out there, and hopefully I can pick up a nice sole on that one. The whole squid at the moment hasn't gone. That's about 50 yards I'm fishing that one. But yeah, little tiny smoothhound. But that did actually give a bite that day, which was quite surprising, the distance he was out. But yeah. Yeah, happy days. I get him back now. That sums up this night. We're just packing up now and my last casts are out. I didn't even get a bite on there. I wound it in and I got a double sandy there and squid and a bootless. Every single cast has been a bootless. It's been mad, Mark, hasn't it? Yeah, man. Mark's had probably the biggest one, which he's rubbed in yet again, but I'm just getting bootlift after bootlift. I think there's one on there as well. That's my last one up. Now we were just packing up. As I said, this is madness. I just spoke to Danny on the phone because he was going to come down here tomorrow night, and I was like, I'd probably pick another venue because that's madness, man. Probably go to Southbourne with these size tides, which I think we should have done, but I was hoping the tides were perfect for you, but unfortunately the strap conger, I know they're a fish and we are catching fish, but it's not what we wanted. I wanted to show you a nice ray video, but I'll get him back now. I'll get my other rod in. We'll come back to an extra, but yeah, definitely a hard day in the office with these strap congers. Never mind, he's fishing. Oh. Yeah, as you can see, I was putting that rod away, I've taken the reel off and I looked up and all my line is slack. On the beach, and this is the sole rig, it is. I would have thought 99% chance it's going to be a strap conger. That's madness, man. We've had that smooth hound. Strap conger every cast. Ugh. I was sitting there praying for a dogfish, which has never happened before. There's something different. I know we had a smooth hound, but I'm looking forward to going to Denmark now and catching a flounder. I've seen strap conger like this before. You know, you normally get the odd ones or twos, but not like this. You're right, if it's a competition. I know you all curse conger and all that, but in a competition, you like get in there. I have to go down again now. Oh, get in there. That's well funny. Oh. Oh, you just heard me and saying, and I was telling Mark, I said I was praying for a dogfish, and there we have it. That is a welcome sight, that is, let me tell you, Mark, innit?
Yeah,
The old dogfish. I haven't caught one for a while in the Solent because I think they've been out and doing their business and pupping and what have you. But yeah, I was just telling you one of the things there. I was praying for a dogfish other than a conger. And there we are, the Solent dogfish. A welcome sight on an hard day's fishing, evenings fishing, with all those strap congers. We did have a little smooth down in between it. But I'm going to get him back. Proper made up with that now. and that's taken on the up and over pulley rig, look, and black leg, fresh black. I'll get him back now. And we definitely going to get ourselves home now, and I'll get to an extra with you once I put this fella back now. Well, me and Mark are parked away now, and that's been a right, well, you've enjoyed yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been good.
But that's been a right hard day in the office with the strap congers. I do apologise. I tried to show you my rigs which I was going to use for obviously sole fishing, and then I was going to show you the ones for ray fishing, but unfortunately the straps had another plan in there. I was so landed then when I caught that dogfish. First time Mac's ever seen a dogfish, so that was quite cool. We did have that little small smooth hound, but that was definitely one of the most difficult sessions we've had for a while. It was just strap after strap. Your rods were we had a bite every cast. I think it was sometimes the straps, because we were using whole squid, the bootlaces couldn't get that in their mouth and they were just ripping it apart. I do apologise, it's not the best video I've ever done, but we had plenty of fish. If it was a match, I would have been quids in. I probably would have been in the top three. Everyone loves a boot in a match, but unfortunately we couldn't do it. So the next time you're going to see me is either on Chesil Friday, because I hate leaving a session like that. I'm going to see if I can nip down to Chesil Friday, and then I fly to Denmark then for the European Championships, which I will take you with me. The 2 practice days and the match days out there, where Germany are hosting it, but unfortunately you can't fish in Germany. So we're going to Legland, I think it's called, in Denmark, fishing for flounder at distance. So I can take you through all my preparation for that, the rigs, show you through the practice days how I'm hopefully can locate the fish. But I'll tell you something, it's definitely coming to winter. I've got my thermal jacket on, Mac have as well. Even temperature just dropped, didn't it?
Yeah, last few hours, man.
Absolutely freezing. But we just had a quick chat about it. And my old friend Brian from Wales, who we've seen on the channel, he's travelling down to Chesil Thursday. So hopefully we can nip down Friday and see him after I try and bribe the wife, because I'm not going to see her for a week. So I'm going to see if I can nip down to Chesil Friday and see if we can get into some blondes and some codling and that down there, because I've got lovely blacks and that. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. That's Max. Max, sorry. Max. That's Mac. And if I don't see you on the beach, I'll see you on the channel. Enjoy your fishing, everyone.